Oh, and I've got a different, okay, I've got the world's now showing up there. I've got a different URL again. This is crazy. This is absolute craziness.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, well, it's not going through the channel I just sent everyone to, so I'm going to have to send a new channel again to everybody. All right, well, thank you. Okay, bye. Okay. Okay, well, it's feeding live to somewhere different again, everyone, so I'm sorry. I don't understand why it's doing that. I had it all set up beautifully well, and now it's going to some other place.
so how's that gonna work? How's that gonna affect?
Well, I'm going to have to send the new email address to everyone
Oh,
because,
All right, well, thank you. Black screen.
oh no, wait a minute.
Is it come to start it?
Okay, well, it's.
Not yet. No,
live
Ian's
to
having some
somewhere
technical
different
difficulties.
Again, everyone.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, not
Yeah,
good.
hi there. Hi there. Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah,
Well,
Ian may have to send out another link. Okay.
Okay, I'll watch for it.
Okay.
hopefully
Sounds
everybody.
great. I've been listening to Steve Palmer at the Nanaimo Folk Connection.
How lovely.
That's been fun. Anyway, okay, thanks, Sue. Bye.
Right, Donna. Bye-bye.
I've got a different, okay, I've got the world's now showing up there.
Mhm.
I've got a different URL again. This is crazy. This is absolute craziness.
Deja vu.
Back to square one. If we have to, we just go on Zoom.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, I guess.
Okay, well, it's not going through the channel I just sent everyone to, so I'm going to
Okay.
have to send a new channel again to everybody. All right, well, thank you. Okay, well, it's feeding live to somewhere different again, everyone, so I'm sorry. I don't.
So everybody's gonna see it.
Well,
Oh, nobody's on Zoom.
No, we're not. Show me.
hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I've just sent the new link out to everybody.
Okay,
Best I can
okay.
do.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do, I guess. Yeah. If the worst comes to the worst, we can do a straight Zoom call, but that's going to require setup too, isn't it?
Well, people can join the Zoom call, of course, but then it's way harder to manage it. And I've got it all set up just for musicians. And
Yes.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all I can do. Okay, the message just went through to everybody. Yep, and that's correct.
Okay.
So, so we need people to catch up to us. It's going to take a couple of minutes.
Okay. All right.
We've got 2 now.
2. Well, there's a start.
Oh, it's nightmare.
What?
This
Yeah.
weird. I've never done this before, and obviously,
Yeah. And it's there's a lot of intricate stuff that has to move in there. Ah. Lots of hurry up and wait.
yeah. So yeah, hurry up and wait.
There's nothing you can do about it, Ian, except what you're doing. And that's just great. I agree with everybody that you deserve a good dinner.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I expect I'm going to sleep well tonight.
I think we all are. Yeah, we all
Well,
are.
I'm going to be treated to amazing music. That's even better, you know?
Well, yeah. That's the good part. This wonderful music that's just waiting here.
Yep, but I've got you all on the screen, which is great. You're all coming through YouTube. So as long as everyone can catch up to us, 5 now watching.
And my husband just handed me a cup of tea. All's right with the world.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Okay. Ah. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's what happened. I've got somebody who emailed and said that they got to the original URL and it was just a sound check. And so it recorded that, which is supposed to be on our channel, but anyways, it's a different URL. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, and we are live. So whenever I'm speaking or you are, that shows up.
Hey, okay. Well, that's great. Wait for the technical stuff to catch up and then we get to go.
Yep. So the message, people haven't gotten the emails, or some haven't got it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I can at least monitor this.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to do this by myself.
No,
No.
we're up to 7.
Are we? Excellent. Excellent. What was the count at the end?
I can tell you.
Ah,
As long as I can find the right place.
I guess the lost sheep will come. Yeah. Sorry about that recovery code, Ian.
Yeah.
Got this wonderful little recovery code, and I went, somebody hacked my phone.
Works. So the total number of tickets. Why doesn't it give me? Oh yeah, here we are. We've got 34 orders and 37 attendees.
That's great. That is absolutely great.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. And I emailed Bob Bosson and I told him, I said, you know, I'm sending you your own special invitation because you were the brainchild behind this whole thing.
Mhm.
And I was absolutely delighted that Ian got in touch with me there.
What's going on here?
Bob.
Yep, we've only got 6. This is a nightmare.
Okay. But it's not the only one that I've heard where the gremlins got in and you know, people have gone astray.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do more than you can do. You can only send them out what the new contact is and hope the heck they catch it.
Yep, they need to read their emails. Yeah.
Either that or I can also make an announcement too for people who are doing the concert. If there's people who,
yeah,
I don't know, of course they can't see me if they don't have the contact. So
Yeah, no,
no,
we're going through okay, but yeah, it's
mhm.
we're only up to 7. So I'd like to, with everyone's permission, I'd like to record the concert, and then I can
Mhm.
put each of your pieces on separate. Why does it keep on doing that? And I'd like to be able to
Mhm.
have people listen to it on Facebook.
Yeah. So at least they can, there's something there for everybody.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're recording live now? Yes, we
Now
are.
recording it.
Okay, shall I begin?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the concert Music for Change. There's a gremlin that's doing just that for poor Ian, our technical person right now. And for some of you, you aren't able to contact us. He sent out an email. So if you know of anybody who is a lost sheep out there, please ask them to read their email and they can get reconnected into us. But we're going to just go ahead with the concert tonight. The musicians here are committed to restoring the balance on our earth. And they have a whole bunch of wonderful songs to entertain you. And we have them all lined up here and they're eager to play for you. We did a sound check. It's just marvelous. And I just hope people can get a chance to hear all of this. So what can you do about climate change? Well, it's a huge subject, but there's a song by the late Pete Seeger and his friend Lori Wyatt right here that I'm going to sing for you right now, and that may help you to figure it out. It's easy. The verses repeat and you'll catch on. And here's the chorus. Knowing we'll all pull through. Knowing we'll all pull through. Knowing we'll all pull through. Me and you That's the chorus. When we look and we see things are not what they should be, Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. When we look and we see things are not what they should be, Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. So join me on that. It's time to turn things around, trickle up, not trickle down. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. It's time to turn things around, trickle up, not trickle down. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. And when drill, baby drill, turns to spill, baby spill, Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. And when drill, baby drill, turns to spill, baby spill, Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. There's a new idea around, old trees are worth more in the ground. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. There's a new idea around, old trees are worth more in the ground. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. Don't give up, don't give in, working together we all can win. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Don't give up, don't give in, working together we all can win. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. Now there's big problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. There's big problems to be solved, let's get everyone involved. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. And when we sing with younger folk, we can never give up hope. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. When we sing with younger folk, we can never give up hope. Earth's counting on me, Earth's counting on you. Knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. One more time, knowing we'll all pull through, knowing we'll all pull through. Yeah. Knowing we'll all pull through, me and you. Yeah, great. I hope you all sang along. That's fabulous. Okay, let's get to our first group here. Thank you. The Wilds Band is led by singer-songwriters Holly Arnson and Kevin Wright, who together have created a library of eco-rock songs. Can you imagine? That's just the way to go. When Holly and Kevin sing and write songs together, think Joni Mitchell meets Bon Scott of AC/DC. Well, you know, it works. They are delighted to be joined by their musical comrade of 20 years, pianist, composer, arranger Carl Rossing, who has written television and film scores, produced 16 CDs of his own, and many more for other performers and musicians. He's performed with orchestras and rock, folk, and jazz bands throughout the world. And Holly and Kevin have done basically what I've done in life, is they've gone into schools and they've taken their music to where the young folk are. What an amazing and wonderful thing to be able to do over the years. The sound of the Wilds is folk pop, rock your world. They're on a mission. They're going to have the best possible time singing songs, playing music, and rocking out for the earth. Please put your hands together and welcome the Wilds.
Well, thank you so much, Sue and Ian and everybody who's joining us tonight. Thank you, everyone. This is so wonderful. We're going to start with a song set up in the Great Bear Rainforest, the mid-coast of BC, where spirit bears are found, the subspecies of black bears. And this song, you'll hear places mentioned like Princess Royal Island, where spirit bears live, Hartley Bay, the First Nations community there, the Quay River, where salmon spawn. And one of the things that we learned is that bears, when they're walking through forests over centuries, their pathways consist of the spots exactly where they place their paws. So in an old-growth forest, over the centuries, that's what you see are their paw spots. And of course, to keep those highways of the bear intact, you have to protect the old-growth forests. And the Great Bear Rainforest is just kind of a symbol of the incredible and rich biodiversity of this place we call home. Simshan, Newhawk, and Nishka. Raven set aside a rainforest home where he decreed spirit bears can freely roam and live together in harmony. Pacific Ocean pounds Princess Royal Island and swiftly cedar trees. Grow cedar trees 1,000 years old and bears as white as clouds on a sunny day. We need the forest to sustain the ancient highways of the bear, following footsteps year by year. The Great Bear Rainforest keeps the rain a falling, salmon running, and the water clear. Black oil, white bears, oil spills, who cares? Like salmon waiting at the mouth of the quay to go upstream and spawn, waiting for rain to raise water levels. Why is it taking so long? We know what we gotta do and where we need to go. We can't get there from here. We can put our hearts together highways of the bear, following footsteps year by year. The Great Bear Rainforest keeps the rain a falling, salmon running, and the water clear. Whoa, we need the forest to sustain the ancient highways of the bear, following footsteps year by year. The Great Bear Rainforest keeps the rain a falling, salmon running, and the water clear. Thank you kindly. Woo-hoo.
I guess, yeah, we only have the musicians on the Zoom call there. Hey, guys, Dennis and Co.
Nice to see you all and to meet you and to be playing together here. This is great. This next song is a true story. You and I lived in Crofton for several years, Kevin.
Yes, we did.
We were living in a house up on a big bluff that overlooked Osborne
Sorry.
Bay, where the Salt Spring Ferry did its trundling back and forth between Vesuvius and Crofton. And off to the west, we could see Shoal Island, the log dump there. And two
Sorry.
or three times a week, we'd watch these big freighters leaving, loaded up full with raw logs. And we
Sorry.
got to meet a fellow there who was a retired mill worker, involuntarily retired. He had a terrible accident and got
in the
injured.
song.
Yeah.
Which is in the song.
We're
Pardon
getting signals from you.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
just saying that you're not, I can't get your picture anymore. Whatever you did to fix when we started the show worked, but all I'm getting is Carol now.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
We haven't touched anything.
No, we haven't made any adjustments here.
because I think it's only when you're on, when Zoom thinks that you're unmuted, that then it's going to show your picture.
Well, try unmuting and turning your sound right off.
Yes, that would be great.
okay.
Yep, so now you're unmuted, and that's
Okay.
great if you can turn,
Okay.
How's that? Can you see us?
yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our disembodied voices in that last song.
You're still in tiny. You're still tiny there on squares.
Oh.
Okay.
There we are.
Anything else that we should do? So, yeah, this fellow, he got injured. A 2,000-pound unit of pulp fell on him, injured his back. He never got to go back to work, and he sat in a wheelchair for 20 years, watching these freighters come and go with raw logs and watching the mills close in Yubo. And we wrote this song called Five Sisters, which refers to on the top of this bluff, there were these 5 old-growth arbutus trees that we christened the Five Sisters. Standing on a bluff overlooking the sea, 5 sisters watching me where the little white salt spring fairy comes and goes. Far to the north on mountains high, white glaciers touch the sky, reflecting mighty sunbeam on the snow.
When I got out of school, I became a longshoreman, working in the mills in Chemainus and Nanaimo. But that all ended 20 years ago, when a brother got crushed neath a unit of pulp that weighed 2,000 pounds. Somehow I lifted it just enough so a buddy could pull him out. Do my back, ruined my life, and never went back.
Standing on a bluff overlooking the sea, 5 old groves are viewed as trees. Watch the deep sea freighters come and go. With raw logs we give away to China and the USA, while we close our sawmills here at home. I'm just tired of it, that's all. They won't buy our finished lumber, but they'll take our logs. You could run 3 sawmills with the timber that 100 trucks dump every day at Shoal Island. So I put up a roadblock, just me and my dog, and signs that said, save BC, build mills in Canada.
Mills in
But it never did any difference. I only stopped the trucks for less than an hour. It would take a protest every day to draw attention to what's going on in our forests. Some politicians listen when money talks. What'll we do when the trees are gone? Sell the rocks, sell the rocks! Woo! Standing on a bluff overlooking the sea, 5 sisters watching me where the little white salt spring fairy comes and goes. Far to the north on mountains high, white glaciers touch the sky, reflecting mighty sunbeam on the snow. And there you have it.
Wow,
Thank you.
awesome.
Awesome.
We're all log
So
fans.
good, so good.
Anti-rock log fans, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, Carl,
Hey,
do you
Carol,
want to just
could
mention
probably-
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, signal's a little hot. Sounding great, but it's still a
Okay, I'll
little
turn
hot.
it down a little bit.
Oh, thanks so much.
No
Awesome.
worries.
Oh, it sounded great, you guys. Thanks for sharing the songs.
Well, thank you for the feedback. We're so honored to be here with all you great musicians. Really looking forward to hearing all your songs.
We just hope it's sounding and looking and doing everything it's supposed to do, and everybody made it back to the feed. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Carl, do you want to just mention briefly about Jamkazam, what we're doing
Yeah,
here?
we're using a program that was developed in Texas some years ago, and when the pandemic came about, and musicians were isolated and unable to play live, I went looking around the internet for software that with which I could play with other people, because that's really what I do a lot of. And found this program called JamKazam, and at that time it had not been developed sufficiently to even stream. So it was a software you could connect with, but you couldn't stream. And they developed it so quickly that within a couple of months you could stream with it, and you'd have video and audio and so they've been developing it frantically for the last year, and I've been in touch with them and able to do gigs with other musicians all over the coast with like 1/100 of a second latency. So I'm thrilled, and I'm thrilled that I could connect up with Holly and Kevin, because they're off in Surrey and I'm in the Highlands just near Victoria. So we're playing together, and made possible by the wonders of JamKazam.
Right on.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, I was so grateful, Sue, when you got in touch, because I've been thinking about, you know, the Fairy Creek blockade and the indigenous protesters, the youth protecting the Walbrand Valley, and just, it's coming down. The big trees are coming down, and they need to stop coming down. So I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to sing out for this. And this next song is called Shade of Our Trees. We live off the breath of the sea. We live in the shade of our trees. We live with love in our voices and wisdom we cannot yet see. The heart of compassion beats in the infinite sea. We move to rhythms from long ago in the shade of our trees. How do men move mountains? How do men move mountains? Why do people say? Why do people say? What makes plants blossom? Every spring, every spring. Mother loves her baby. Mother loves her baby. Silence loves call of blue. Flowers look for sunlight. Sunlight. Ocean tides follow the moon. We all need trees in our future to help us listen to our past. Never rush when you visit your ancestors. Sometimes slow is fast. Trees stand watching in silence. I wonder what they've seen. All the good and bad things we have done in the shade of our trees.
We've got a bit of a sound problem again
you,
from
tree
your side,
fans.
Holly.
Yeah, a little distortion, Holly.
It's kind
Oh,
of
okay.
fading in and out, or
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Beautiful
sounds
song.
really good from Carol's piano, but from Holly, your end, it'll be loud and then it kind of fades back.
Yeah, it's just the overall output level.
Here, how does this sound?
Yeah, it's still kind of, it's not
This one's
very
the
clear.
rocker, so this is going to be a big test because there's lots of lots of.
Okay, how does this sound?
Should we maybe turn our output down, Carl, or master?
Just play a bit.
Can't hear Carol at all.
Your master's fine.
Okay.
Carol, you're not coming through at all.
Pardon me?
Can you repeat that, Ian?
Carol's not coming through at all on his mic. There's nothing there on his mic at all.
I could hear him a bit, Ian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's nothing there really.
Oh. Oh, rats.
Yep,
How's that?
Isn't it-
That better?
a little bit, can hear you just a little bit.
What about the piano? That's what really matters.
Yeah, you're clear.
Piano's good. Yeah, that works.
Piano's
Okay.
fine? And how's this?
Yeah, it's as long as you don't strum too hard.
Well, I am
I think
strumming on this
you-
one, so let's
Yeah.
try it again.
This is going to be this is the rocker.
That's good. Okay, that's good.
Is that good?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, well, this is our last song.
Ah.
Oh, we had four.
Well, thank you everyone for having us. Thank folks for tuning in. And we're going to finish off with a song called Pennies from Heaven, Dollars from Hell. It's about fresh water and the fact that once we use it for something like making a car, we can't use it for anything else. So it's a precious thing.
It takes 100,000 gallons of fresh water to make one car. It's an unbelievable amount of numbers. So.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Here we go. Just one sec. Is that okay? Is that distorting?
It is distorting
No,
a
that's
bit.
good. We're getting thumbs up.
Yeah, getting thumbs up. Okay.
Rock and roll!
Okay.
Car that drives away.
Woo! All right, all right.
Thanks
Oh,
very much.
For just plain energy, you can't beat the Wilds. I think we need a bigger screen for you guys. That's just
Thank you,
absolutely.
Sue. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Well, our thanks to you for coming together tonight and giving us such a wonderful start to our show.
Well,
Take
we look
care,
forward to
you
the rest
guys.
of it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. On to our next performer. Now, our next performer I consider
You
to
need a
be
car?
ours. He's a our own home product. He's our own Dennis LaCusta. Dennis's strong suit in songwriting is in the area of spirit and introspection. It's quite a contrast to what we have heard from the Wilds, although definitely there's a lot of thought in what they've done too. Dennis claims that Captain Kirk was wrong. Space is not the final frontier. The ultimate and most profound voyage is 180 degrees in the opposite direction. It's within ourselves. Combined with Dennis's cutting edge humor, which is absolutely wonderful, and topical songwriting, it makes for a wonderful and memorable show from Dennis and from his bass player, Terry Porter. So tonight we feature Dennis and Terry.
Video.
All yours, guys.
And Dennis, you're going to have to turn on your video and your sound. Great. Super.
Well, hopefully that all worked out on the output on their end.
No, there, Ian. I'm afraid because you edited the video, you have to reinitiate it.
They were there. Honest, they were there, and they're coming back.
Doing it? It should be that.
Can anybody hear us?
Sound really good.
Who's that piece? We have no video.
We have your video.
Oh, you do?
Excellent.
Mhm.
Okay, well then we might as well just go ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, no, something's just happened here. So just hang on for a second.
Okay, okay.
There we are.
Okay. Now I've got your video. I see you here. So it's just a matter of, yep, I think you can go.
You got everything?
I think so.
Bass?
Yes, I can hear the
Okay.
bass.
All right.
Well, we like to start with a simple song about the road. And I want to say, first of all, thanks to everybody who put this together. And we definitely deserve, we definitely need to take these techies out for lunch when this is over. Grace under pressure, eh, Ian? Anyway, we're going to start with a little road song that I wrote a few years back, and it's about hitchhiking through the prairies during the summer on a beautiful moonlit night around midnight or so, and the only thing you hear is the whine of the trucks coming down the highway. So this is called Gypsy Moon. Distant diesel whines and lights come around the bend.
Sound
I
destructive.
thank my lucky stars I'm on the road again. Gypsy moon shining over my shoulder tonight. Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with he sees me, and I think he's slowing down. He's pulling over, and my heart begins to pound. Gypsy moon, shining over my shoulder tonight. Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with light. Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy boy. At a minute or two past midnight, we cross the border. Gonna watch the morning sun rise in Mountain Standard Time. Gypsy moon, shining over my shoulder tonight.
Hang on for a second.
We definitely
Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with light.
Race under pressure, eh, Ian?
Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy boy. Lead guitar. Eat your heart out, Mark Knopfler. You too, Chet. This trucker's friendly and his rig begins to move. He's going all the way and I know I'm in the groove. Gypsy moon, shining over my shoulder tonight. Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with light. Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy boy. At a minute or two past midnight, we cross the borderline. Gonna watch the morning sun rise in Mountain Standard Time. Gypsy moon, shining over my shoulder tonight. Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with light. Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy boy. The distant diesel whines and lights come round the bend. I thank my lucky stars I'm on the road again. Gypsy moon, shining over my shoulder tonight. Gypsy moon, filling the prairie landscape with light. Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy boy. Yeah, one more mile of wandering gypsy. One more mile for a wandering gypsy. One more mile, a wandering gypsy boy. That's me. Me and Terry, I guess.
Your sound is very low. It's kind of fading in and out. I don't know, you started off really well and then it just kind of faded out.
To nothing?
Very little. It's like you're only being heard by the computer and not through the sound system again.
Oh.
Bring it up a bit.
That's it.
That's it better?
Yeah, now we got you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is a little song called Ship of Joy. that I don't think it needs any kind of an explanation. 3, 4. Sorry. 3, 4. I now stand assured that goodness will prevail. The winds of light will fill the open sail. Your ship of joy can cross the ocean blue. I know this to be true. I have no doubt that life and breath are one. And when I look within, I see the rising sun. The peace I feel comes from being here with you. I know this to be true. The peace I feel comes from being here with you. I know this to be true. When joy spreads her wings, the human heart sings. Love stories flourish and abound. In every breath I take, another chance to be awake has caused my gratitude to resound. Ooh, yeah. Bright ribbons fade and candles cease to glow, and the darkness surrounds. There's a place that I can go where love shines on as only love can do. I know this to be true. This moment called now is the doorway to the heart, and the hunger and the thirst indicate the journey start. As every wandering river needs an ocean to flow to, I know this to be true. As every wandering river needs an ocean to flow to, I know this to be true. When joy spreads her wings, the human heart sings. Love stories flourish and abound. In every breath I take, another chance to be awake has caused my gratitude to resound. I now stand assured that goodness will prevail, that the winds of light will fill the open sail, and your ship of joy will cross the ocean blue. I know this to be true. That your ship of joy will cross the ocean blue. I know I know this to be true. Your ship of joy, your ship of joy, your ship of joy, your ship of joy, across the ocean blue. I know this to be true. Ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ooh, ah. Ooh, ah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Oh,
Yay! Wonderful.
Ian, could you hear that?
Oh,
Yes.
coming in beautiful, just perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, our next song is going to be a little bit of a blues number from somebody called Howlin' Wolf. Howlin' Wolf. This has probably been covered by a few people. 3, 4. It was in the spring, one sunny day. My good girl left me, Lord, she went away, went away. Now she's gone, I don't weary. I'm sitting on top of the world. Well, she called me up down in El Paso, said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so, need you so. Now she's gone, I don't weary. I'm sitting on top of the world. Mississippi River, she's a long and wide. Woman I'm loving on the other side, other side. Now she's gone, I don't weary. Yeah, I'm sitting on top of the world. You don't like my peaches, don't shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be, peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't weary. Yeah, I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come here running, holding out your hand. I'll find me a woman like you found your man, found your man. Now she's gone, I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. It was in the spring, one sunny day. My good girl left me. Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, now she's gone. I don't weary. I'm sitting on top of the world. It was in the spring, one sunny day. My good gal left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, now she's gone. I don't weary. Yeah, I'm sitting on top of the world. And now she's gone, I don't weary. Yeah, I'm sitting on top of the world. Wow, sounds like a cast of thousands out there. Thousands of fingers, at least. Okay, this is our last song. I wanted to, Sue asked me to run through this once, so I think it's very well, it was based on a dream I had, and it was an old man. There was an old man, a Cree elder shaman, who was standing on top of this magic hill, and from his magic hill he could see all 4 directions around him, and he could see everything that had happened here from coast to coast to coast to coast over the last 500 years since the Europeans have arrived. And I don't have to go into the details, the sordid details of that. But the old man starts to weep. And I've worked the weeping into this song, and it's become the central element of the song itself. So it's called Maybe the Human Beings Will Have to Go. Something cheery to send you off into dreamland. Ready? This is Terry, by the way. He's my bass player. He's my only bass player in the world. Okay, 3, 4. This blue-green orb floating around in space is dying a death that is clearly our disgrace. Excuses we have none. It's criminal what we've done, don't you know? The earth was a gift, and a precious gift, it's true, but we've thrown it all away in a century or 2. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. The air that we breathe and the waters that we drink get more poisoned by the day as we teeter on the brink. And there really is no doubt our time is running out, don't you know? This paradise was home, and a place where mortals dwell, but a self-destructive gene helped us driving into hell. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. The disappearance species with the humans form a link. In as little as a week, about 600 go extinct. So do the math, it's clear. That's 30,000 a year, don't you know? But the price that we pay is measured by the cost of the myriad creations that are gone, forever lost. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. In the passion to possess exists a demon seed, where the things that we want far exceed the things we need. And the poor starve and die, and the children wonder why, don't you know? As the madness runs amok and the vicious cycle turns, we will shop until we drop while the planet slowly burns. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. Our wars tend to gauge the inhumanity of man, where the mandate is to kill just as many as you can. First you kneel down and pray, then you blow them all away, don't you know? The crown of creation, I have heard us thus referred, but perhaps abomination is a more descriptive word. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. There are those who walk the earth who are trying to stem the tide of the blindness and stupidity that's spreading worldwide. All the efforts and the pain, let's hope it's not in vain, don't you know? We're the family of man, and no matter what you think, we will all go down together if someday the boat should sink. And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. This blue-green orb floating around in space is dying a death that is clearly our disgrace. Excuses we have none, It's criminal what we've done, don't you know? And I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go. I know it sounds extreme. Maybe the human beings will have to go.
Awesome, Dennis.
Way to go.
Amazing song, Dennis.
It
Amazing
is.
song. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. It is. It's an absolutely amazing song. And thank you so much, Dennis and Terry and Frank in the background there for coming on to our program tonight. Thank you. It's just what an addition, eh? Okay. Normally I would have a bit of an intermission here, but I think since we got started late, we're just going to kind of keep on going here, except that I don't see Luke. So Luke Wallace will be our next performer. And if I don't see him, we may get an intermission to give him a little bit of a chance
I'm
to
here.
get back to us. You're there. All right, Luke. Great stuff.
Hey.
Our next
Awesome.
two performers aren't coming from a home, which is kind of fun. They are both representative of a younger generation, and I'm absolutely delighted they could both make it tonight. And our first performer is Luke Wallace. Luke is from the West Coast, and his music has been focused on climate change, and lately particularly on saving the remaining endangered old growth forests of British Columbia. Luke is of the first generation that will be directly affected by climate change. We need to listen to him. I'm delighted to have Luke's strong voice in this concert tonight from a cabin on Salt Spring Island, Luke Wallace.
Thanks so much, Sue.
Thank you,
So good
Luke.
to be here with everyone. Thanks, everybody.
Luke, we can't see anything. You don't have your camera on.
That's kind of funny.
We can hear you, but
Definitely on.
there's no video coming through.
Try that. How about now? That's
No,
wasn't that fun?
no.
Luke does exist, by the way.
Just a-
He was here earlier.
I do exist, everybody. That's what a
It's like
fun thing to happen.
it is. You might have
Yeah.
to exit and return, or unless you can go to your video settings, which is beside the start video icon, and go to your video
No,
settings
totally.
and make sure that the camera that you're wanting to use is on. That's actually finding that.
How about now? I've just been highlighted, but it still appears nothing, eh?
Yeah, there's nothing there. It just is blank.
Okay, I'll be back in under 10 seconds. Watch this. World's fastest re-entry.
Just reboot, Luke. I think you might be okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Which means, Sue, you're going to need to give us some idea what this is about and what's the funding going to, and any of those kinds of good things. You need to unmute though, Sue.
There's a good idea. Yeah. All right. By the way, tonight's concert is sponsored by the Nanaimo Folk Connection Coffee House here in Nanaimo. And it is also sponsored because we have had a bequest. The Helen Martin Bequest Fund has given us some money with which we can do concerts. And Helen would be here tonight, I'm sure, if she could be. And here we have Luke. There you go.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, Luke, we have your name there. So there's a start.
Okay.
Okay.
Should be popping up here soon. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay. There he is. He's there. We
Always
got
an
you, Luke.
adventure.
Always,
Epic.
always.
Well, why don't we play some music before some technology comes and gets us again?
Sounds like a plan.
Hey everyone, welcome to my little cabin here. Thank you so much for welcoming me into this evening. Awesome to hear such beautiful music so far, and it's just inspiring to hear all the different songwriting and everything. We've all got so much to say and hear and feel about what's going on in the world right now, and so I'm inspired by your music. And here's a couple songs of my own. This is a song called Biosphere. You can't believe anything they say. You can't believe anybody these days. I cannot trust what's between my ears. You can't believe everything you hear. So I quiet down, listen to my heart. I make a hole out of all the parts. Find myself in everyone that I see. It's all right there looking back at me. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. So I'll sail the world in the 7 seas. You're chasing opportunities. Yet if more is less and west is east, and war is dust and the rest is peace. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. Said everybody running for the rocket ship. You're waiting in line for a real big trip. Yeah, me, I'm fine, sitting right down here. You're buzzing with the birds in the biosphere. Said I'm buzzing with the birds in the biosphere. Nobody gonna bring me down. Well, I said that nobody gonna bring me down. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down, 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 down. I said that nobody gonna bring me down. And I said that nobody gonna bring me down. Yeah.
Hey! All right.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Sweet. Well, it's funny, the kind of deeper we get into this thing we're all in right now, the more we realize how much of it is legalized and sort of by the books, and how little that means. And you know, the clear cutting of the final ancient forests of the world is totally legal and permitted in supposedly the most established and progressive country on earth. And it comes right back to me in my life, in this cabin that I built. It's not permitted and it's beautiful and totally functional, and but it's fully illegal, and you know, the whole shebang. And you look at building code right now, and you know, building code has nothing to do with safety or even heating. It's all written by manufacturers. The same folks who've lobbied the government to allow them to clear cut the land are the ones saying that we need to be building with, you know, 2x6 studs and having 12 layers of plastic between me and the outside world. It's a ridiculous, preposterous scenario, and it's quite frustrating. And so it's really liberating to build this cabin and just kind of go for it and not really care what anyone thinks. And about halfway through building it, the inspector showed up and said we had to do a bunch of stuff to it, and we didn't do any of it. And we kind of played a little prank on him. Not prank, but we just tricked him into giving us a permit, and he totally did. And it just was hilarious. And so instead of getting too frustrated, I just wrote this song, and you know, it starts with my experience of that and sort of expands out. And you think that if you're bothered by the functions of a colonial oppressive state, you really got to put yourself in the shoes of Indigenous people and think about all the BS that they've had to deal with and continue to deal with today. And I tried to do my best in this song to deal with both of those stories. So here's a song. This is called The Permit Song. Enjoy it. Said I don't need your permit to build myself a home. I do not need your license to sell the things that I've grown. And I don't need your papers. I ain't gonna sign your line or waste my time on something like that. On something like that. So show us your papers. You show us your papers. You show us your papers. You show us your papers. I show all your papers and your permits and your license and insurance to the inspector with his clipboard when he comes right to your front door with his clauses and conditions and his fine print and prohibitions, trying to sell shit I don't believe in. So I tell him, sir, you show me your papers. 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 Are we going backwards? Is it rewind? Is it red lights? Is it stop signs with the tankers and the pipelines and the bankers and their war crimes in this country, like a nation which is more like a corporation, taking money and donations to oppress the liberation of the folks on the reservations? Not an ounce of reconciliation or a dollar for clean hydration. Can you hear them saying, you show us your papers? You show us your papers. You show us your papers. You show us your papers. I don't need your permit to build myself a home. I do not need your license to sell the things that I've grown. And I don't need your papers. I ain't gonna sign your line or waste my time on something like that. On something like that. On something like that.
Oh boy, that's great. Woo!
Excellent.
We love that one, Luke.
Oh, sweet. So good, so good. People on Salt Spring really love that one.
I guess probably half of them are in the same boat as you, right? So.
You got it. You got it. It's
so good.
Straight
man.
up.
So good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah, it's been a good year to do other things other than, you know, touring music, as much as I miss it. And I can't wait to get this exact lineup of musicians together, perhaps with the Nanaimo folks here in this crew. We should all go play a real show together sometime. And but so grateful to be here with you tonight. But let's do it all in person. But in lieu of all that, I think a lot of artists.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us have had time to write and record. And I went and tracked this song in January with my good producer friend, and it's kind of one of the only people that I really hung out with that month. And we just made this song. It's called Comeback. And I'm reminded, and I have to remind myself, that amongst all of the headlines and bad news that is the only news really this day seems to be bad news, that we're actually not that far off this whole thing working out pretty good for everyone. And I'm reminded of what happens when people cooperate, and the things we've been able to overcome through simple storytelling and shared values. And thinking about the climate and thinking about the capacity of soils around the world to sequester just enormous amounts of carbon. And it, we talk about climate change as a problem of emissions, and in a lot of ways it is, but it's also this problem of destroying the Earth's capacity to deal with all of it. And yes, we should cut fossil fuels, but the second we stop destroying the soils and overfishing the oceans, these systems have an amazing capacity to rebalance themselves. And I have a full faith and scientific grounding to understand that that whenever we decide to turn this thing, we're laughing, and it's ready and it's waiting for us. And so I guess that's the theme of the song. Here you go. So we could make a comeback and save it for our kids. And I could tell you, son, that I gave all I had to give to build a bigger wolf pack and get 'em howling at the wind. Yeah, we could make a comeback. Feel the weight of it all and I let it sink in. But this ain't nothing new, it's what I'm always thinking. And a break in the flow is like my mind blinking. A moment of rest, nah. And in the pause I can feel all the weight start to lift. Rift in the cloud, favorite song loud. A story coming clear over the crowd. So I listen in close, nah. Yeah, and I hear the future go something like this. Sound of the singers coming through crisp. Steady ourselves, climb back to the bliss, and welcome anything that walks through that mist. Love, so I insist that we go there together. Start from the bottom, build something much better. Whatever the weather, it's right on time, 'cause the moment's arrived, nah. Yeah, we could make a comeback, save it for our kids. And I could tell you, son, that I gave all I had to give to build a bigger wolf pack and get 'em howling at the wind. Yeah, we could make a comeback. Hey. See, the truth is that I don't know where to begin. In the ocean, the forest, the political grin, the methane, the coup, the violence within. Guess I'll look for a sign, nah. And the second I look, there it appears, hiding behind all that sorrow and fear. And when I look in your eyes, I can see it so clear. We're one and the same, nah. So come back to love, come back to the land, come back together and come lend a hand. Come back to the soil, come back to the sand, come back to yourself, nah. Yeah, we can make a comeback, save it for our kids. And I can tell you, son, that I gave all I had to give, and I wish you hadn't done that. Thrown our future to the wind, but we can make a comeback. Hey, yeah, we can make a comeback and save it for our kids. Then I could tell you, son, that I gave all I had to give to build a bigger wolf pack and get them howling at the wind. Said I could be the comeback. the comeback.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Just so you know, Luke, Holly and I had your Bee Gees all covered there. Just in we had the Bee Gees. We had all the Bee Gees. Come back. So, yeah. We had you covered there.
I'll have to talk about them sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, play one more song and then we got Scott Cook and company coming
Yeah.
up. Sue, I guess that's your job. I don't want to take your job, but
No, you're not at all, Luke.
well, I don't know if Scott can hear us right now, but Scott, I had the absolute pleasure of can you yeah, you all right. So I had the absolute pleasure of singing your song at Salmon Arm Roots and Blues with Irish, Mythen, and Valdy. And the artistic, the AD there said, "Oh, guys, we got to close the festival out with Scott's song. It's like the best song ever. Pass it along." And so then we all learned it kind of that morning. And it's just such a beautiful memory in my life. I mean, it was like there's like 10,000 people there. It's like the most people I've ever got to sing in front of. And to be able to sing your song, it was just such a joy. And
I saw it on video.
Anyways. Okay,
I saw it on video, Luke. Yeah, it was amazing, man. And you learned it. You learned it well.
Sweet. Well, yeah, it was
You're a
good. I was
quick
the only one that well, I learned the lyrics. You know, the rest of them were kind of. It was great. It was so fun. Yeah, awesome. Well, look forward to hearing you playing, and I'll play one more song here. Why don't I play Melody? Yeah, all right. Here's a song called "Melody Inside of the Madness," and this is the truth about my life, and I think the entire meaning of the universe. In that we shy away from these things that hurt, and they're where the healing is, and they're where the lessons are. And if we can lean in and look at what's going on in our lives, these challenging parts, these parts that cause us pain, our liberation lies within that on an individual and collective level. And we have to realize that this last 18 months of chaos and division and manipulation, it's happening for us so that we can see where the work needs to be done collectively. And the environment is decaying in the way that it is because we have to learn the lesson of not doing what we're doing. And there's a meaning to all of it and a purpose to all of it. And it's our jobs as people to look into those. And so I wrote this song. Here we go. This is a song called Melody Inside of the Madness. Thank you again so much for having me. And just been a joy to be here with you tonight. Yeah, I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. And I'm watching you, yeah, out on your own. I'm thinking we should get together, build it up from below. I'm watching us, oh, wobble and waver. I can hear the river calling me. And I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. It's coming to the fork in the road. I'm thinking we should pick the way that everybody can go. It's coming right down to the line. I'm thinking we should pick together instead of yours and mine, right on time. I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. and I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. Said the healing's in the hurt, nah nah, and the blessings in the curse, nah nah. And all the lessons that I learned, bridges that I burned, healing's in the hurt, love, healing's in the hurt. I'll find the melody. I'll find the melody, and I'll find the melody, la da 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 da. I'll find the melody, and I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. And I'll find the melody inside of the madness. There's something beautiful inside of the tragic. It's like a song coming out of the radio static, a melody inside of the madness. And I'll find the melody, and I'll find the melody, and I'll find the melody, la da 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 da, and I'll find the melody. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you. There's so much truth there. This is why I love hanging around musicians. I think they've got the world by the tail, and there's an awful lot of right things going on out here. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Luke. Wonderful. Thank you, Luke. Okay. So we're now at, well, our last act, I guess. And Scott, it's the other one who is not necessarily in a home somewhere. He makes his home in a van for the most part. And this is what he wrote me. I made my home on the road from 2007 to 2020 when the pandemic made living in a van less appealing. And I recently released my 7th album, Tangle of Souls, packaged in a 240-page hardcover book. Isn't that amazing? So from coming to us from a van somewhere out there, I think he and Pamela are on a camping trip right now, as I understand. Yeah. And I must say, living in a van is probably a lot nicer with Pamela there, Scott?
Yeah, you got that right.
Scott Cook. Scott Cook with Pamela May. And Scott, I met a bunch of years ago when he came and did a set at the Nanaimo Folk Connection Coffee House. We were very privileged to have him. I couldn't get him back. He was so busy. Other people discovered him too. So I am delighted that Scott has come back to us and brought Pamela. So all yours.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Sue. It's been a great night so far. It's been a great night of music. You know, that Nanaimo Folk Connection Coffee House was actually the first folk club, the first proper folk club that my bandmates, the Second Chances, ever went to. And they were like, so what are these folk clubs all about? And I was like, oh, you know, it's going to be like, there's going to be like cookies and brownies and stuff, probably for like $1, and there'll be like coffee and juice maybe for $1, and it's like the only place in the world that you can get a coffee for $1. And there's probably going to be somebody knitting, and Pete Seeger is the Pope, and we walked into the room, and there it was. There was a woman on stage playing a 12-string guitar, telling a story about Pete Seeger, and 2 gals knitting, and the cheapest snacks on Vancouver Island.
Yay.
So it's good to be back. Sorry, we can't share the snacks. We're in Jasper national park at the moment. I actually live in a house now with Pamela May. I'm lucky enough. She opened her home to me, made room in it for me.
Welcome.
And it was like at the beginning of February, which turned out to be like just in time for a pandemic, to be to have a place to be holed up and be well taken care of, and feel incredibly lucky actually to have somewhere to land. But we did pick up this van recently. It's a little more homey for the two of us, and we're just trying it out, taking it on the road. We just lost our doggo about a week and a half ago, I guess. So we're gonna start off with one for her. 1, 2, 3. We staggered arm in arm here when we were younger. Tried everything they said we shouldn't do. And we took as many trips as we took lovers. But some of those trips, a dog comes back with you. And some of those trips turned into tricycles. And my wild and reckless friends got safe and old, wheeling little buddy homeward on the bicycle, with all the hope and joy and poop a bike seat could hold. Now the feral festival kidlets keep changing costumes. They run in a pack and dig holes in the ground. And they like sleeping under the table, just like the dogs do. So you watch your step when there's little ones around. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. So we talk about work and what we're reading, why the bastards keep winning, and where we'd move if they did. We talk about who went home with whom at the party last weekend. But eventually we just watch the dogs and kids. Chasing and sniffing and eating's all they're on about. They don't complicate their blues, they just moan. They don't think much about themselves, they just freak out. If they got a bone to pick with you, it's probably just a bone. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. My buddy had a run of bad luck and bad choices. If it goes bad in court, one of us has to take his pup. He's trying to learn to listen to the right voices. Hope he don't have to miss his kid growing up. We were all bulletproof daydream manifestors, but all the bluster just boils down to love. Just wanna be a good uncle, be a good ancestor. I'm taking better care when there's someone to take care of. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. Nice time, Pamela May.
Oh my goodness.
Can you hear all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good.
You sound great. Hey, Scott, are you guys just coming through just the one mic and the basically the way it sounds?
Yeah, we got this mic and then we're jacked in.
Oh, you're jacked in too. Okay.
The guitar and bass are jacked in, yeah.
Sounds fantastic, man. That sounds fantastic.
It's about the silliest looking thing you ever saw in a camper van, really.
I hope our fellow campers are enjoying that.
No, it sounds great, man. You guys, it sounds great. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So
this is Music for Change. So we're gonna play a song now about just one small change that might be good, might do the world some good. There's a lot of possibilities for little changes that could do the world some good, but this is just about one of them. Now there's a whole lot of uppity women still ain't satisfied with the deal. We let them ride right alongside, now they want to take the wheel. And the fellas keep saying we got this, 'cause that's the way that it's always been done. Don't all the scriptures say a woman should obey? Didn't a man write every last one? We could take a little lesson from history. All the priests, generals, and kings, they're just nothing like long experience when it comes to making a mess out of things. So fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. We had our turn, we had our say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. Now they want choice and pay equality. Wouldn't believe it how they ran and raved. Back in the day, we just knock them on the head and drag them on back to the cave. And we're still flexing that privilege, though we find ways to ignore it. And ever subtler ways to say she must have been asking for it. Oh, fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. We had our turn, we had our say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. Tell you what, I thank God that she made women. Every time I'm in a crowd of guys, they might do just fine without us. Without them, we'd be Lord of the Flies. Whoever said it's bros before hoes, I could tell you that's a load of malarkey. If there's any hope for this whole show, we got to bring on the matriarchy. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. We had our turn, we had our say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. I got a guy friend who's 30 years married. He backs her up however he can. He says, happy wife, happy life. Seems to me he's a reasonable man. I got a gal friend who's tougher than me. If you cross her, there'll be hell to pay. When I hold the door, it ain't chivalry. No, I'm just getting out of her way. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. We had our turn, we had our say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. Louder, fellas. Fellas, get out the way. You at home. Fellas, get out the way. We had our turn, we had our say. Fellas, get out the fellas, get out the way. Ha! Amazing, Pamela May.
I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. I gotta get out the way. That's a great song, Scott. Oh man, so.
Oh, thank you. That's a song I wrote to remind me. To So remind me what's the appropriate thing to do most of the time. All right, well, we'll play you two more here. We want to play a couple off this new record that Sue mentioned. I put it out last year. It was coincidentally really good timing to have a pandemic in which to finish writing the book, because I had this idea, like my last album that those previous two songs came with a 132-page book. A little soft cover thing, mostly pictures, you know. But I figured, there's really nowhere to go from there but bigger. So it's a 240-page book, and mostly words, some leaf art by my friend from Australia, Cecilia Sharpley, and a whole lot of story in there about some stuff that happened to me over the course of the last 3 years before, after that previous album, including going to the hospital. I partied too hard, I drank too much, and I ended up in the hospital. And in a way, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, really, because it was a big turning point in my life. And since getting out of there, it's helped me to see some parallels to the world at large, and to the way that our own sort of addiction to consumption is self-destructive and ultimately suicidal, and we seem to be hurtling towards a real point of no return for the human race. And and as any addict knows, you try to rationalize it, you try to figure some way around it, you try to you try to negotiate your way to another fix. That's what you do, and that's what we're doing right now. So anyway, I wrote a lot about that, and a lot about kind of the road that got me there in the first place, and finding the joy in it again. So that's the book, Tangle of Souls. We're gonna play you two songs off of that, and this is one that has gone some places this last year, and I've been happy to see it. I wrote it for the country I was born in. I was born in Morgantown, West Virginia, and I've got most of my family, all my extended family, is still on that side of the border, and I love them, and I love them dearly, even the Trump voters, and among them, and my heart's been breaking for my home country this past year. So this is a song that I wrote a couple years ago, but it seems to be still relevant. It's called "Say Can You See." I love this country. I love the people and the land, but there's a lot of stuff happening that I can't understand. We got billions for bailouts, we got trillions for wars, but it's hard for working people to make a living anymore. Hear me out for a second. This ain't a partisan song. It ain't about right and left. It's about right and wrong. We're fighting over the scraps, while a few are living like kings. 'Cause screwing us over's a bipartisan thing, and it's working people who made this country great. Not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And if a new day's coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say can you see? See, I got a neighbor, we don't always agree. He's a bit of a redneck, according to a hippie like me. But if you're in the ditch, he'll pull you out, I know he will. And that's more than I can say for all those dickheads on the hill. He works hard for his family, he's got loyalty and pride. The company took all he gave and then cast him aside. 'Cause there's profit in poverty, hell, there's profit in prisons. And they don't even pay taxes, they just buy politicians. But it's working people who made this country great, not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And if a new day is coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see? And in New York Harbor, there's a lady with a flame, still calling in the huddled masses in liberty's name. But there's fear on the airwaves and hatred wrapped in the flag, turning strangers into enemies and our riches into rags. And a revolution to break the grip of greed don't need a strong man or a savior, but I believe we're gonna need whatever magic this old world's got left to start, and all the ammunition in the chambers of our hearts. It's working people who made this country great, not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And the new day is coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see? Yeah, thanks, babe. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, friends.
It's so fun to have the audience in our camper van.
It really is fun to have the audience.
It's very surreal.
Yeah. It's so good.
Isn't it great that people figured out how to like unmute themselves just for the audience, just for clapping, and then like
It's a nice blast.
And then mute themselves back again. That part too.
We're learning.
Both those parts are great.
Yeah.
We're all learning.
When we were all first doing this stuff, it was just like totally silent, and then now all of a sudden there's like, oh yeah, you can clap, you can hear clapping.
Or it was just total chaos with people like other people tuning and saying, "Which one did you want to play first?"
Yeah. I don't see them yet.
Hey, can I ask, like, how are you guys getting such a good signal out of the van? Like, where are you? Like, you guys are in Jasper in the van. Like, you got a pretty good signal.
So there's a cell phone booster came with this van. We got that going with a little antenna on the roof, and then we're running two phones on two different companies, and we're trying to combine the signal with a thing called Speedify, an app. My friends in a band called Ordinary Elephant told me about it. Told me about Speedify because they live in Opelousas, Louisiana, and they don't have very good Wi-Fi, and they do these streaming shows. So they actually combine the signal from both their cell phones plus their dongle, and like from three different companies or whatever to get it. But I'll tell you, I was super nervous before this show, so I'm glad it hasn't like dropped out or anything. Yeah, I'm glad it's working.
It sounds. You got. There's a couple little tiny glitches that happen every once in a while, but nothing it's absolutely like stunning the way you guys get the connection. Like,
It's hard to believe.
It's a crazy world, isn't it? Well, thank you so much for dancing. Thank you, Sue, for inviting us. And thank you, everybody, for playing. Dennis, that last song of yours just really hit me in the heart. Thank you for that. And Luke, thanks for singing "Pass It Along" in Salmon Arm. Actually, your name came to me through Bob Bosson on Gabriola Island, who he's got his eye on things, and he's actually the guy who put together the video that Sue's gonna play after this. But yeah, it's really been a pleasure sharing a show with y'all. If anybody wants albums, I'm on scottcook.net. You can find all the stuff there, and also we're playing a show tomorrow night from the same campsite, I guess. And we're in the round with Susie Vinnick and Megan Carey from Philadelphia, Susie Vinnick from Ontario, killer blues woman. And that's being presented by Brooklyn's Voices in the Heights. And that's a ticketed show, but it's also on Zoom, and then the tickets are pay what you can. And the details are on scottcook.net for that one too. And this is the amazing Pamela May. Go on, unmute yourselves. This is the amazing Pamela May.
Fantastic. So good.
Can we stay unmuted?
Depends what you want to talk about.
Anyway, good to see you, Pamela. It's excellent to see you, Pamela. Yeah, love
hear
your
you.
business.
Oh,
Hear
you
you.
sound fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she's cute too.
She sure is.
And about as red as the curtain now.
I've been looking all over for the heart of this land. It's all the same from the highway, paranoid and bland. But I found a string of outposts and dug in deep behind the lines. It's getting harder to hold hope, but that's where I'm keeping mine. And it's scary breaking cover. It's heartbreaking ground. And it's the nail that sticks up that gets knocked down. Oh, and every bit of brilliance in all that you do, they'll find a way to twist it and try to sell it back to you. Considering your options, you could play it smart, or you could let love have its way with your heart. You might think that it's hopeless before you even start. Let love have its way with your heart. See, I'm just like the system, stubborn and scared of change. In the throes of addiction, turning hungry-eyed and strange. And the more I see it in myself, the more I kick and shout, like we hate the infidel, 'cause he shows us our own doubt. And you can point fingers, denying your part, or you can let love have its way with your heart. You might think that it's hopeless before you even start. Let love have its way with your heart. Oh, let love have its way with your heart. Love's talking through the mothers and singing through the earth. When we've dug the last dollar, we'll see what it's worth. But this is coming down hard, friends. Not if, but when. And just as cruel as we are now, we could be crueler then. And you can shore up the walls that keep the world apart, or you can let love have its way with your heart. You might think that it's hopeless before you even start. Let love have its way with your heart. Oh, let love have its way with your heart.
Good advice. Good advice.
All right.
Fantastic.
It has been an absolutely amazing concert. Everybody, give everybody a hand because
Everybody,
it's just absolutely amazing. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, the original idea for this concert happened when Bob Bosson, who many people will remember is the leading member of String Band, which was a folk band back in the 80s and 90s, sent me an email with a recording of a very tasty cover he did of Scott Cook's song, Pass It Along, in audio version. He asked for donations to make a video to go along with it. While we are delighted to report that in the end, Bob got lots of donations and made the video, he didn't need any from us. So we got to thinking what we could do with the funds, and the result is what you have seen tonight. Absolutely brilliant, just great. So we thought a fitting ending would be to scream Bob Bosson's wonderful video of Scott's song, Pass It Along. It's a perfect ending to our evening. But before we show this, I want a little bit of, I'm going to send out a little gratitude in order. And absolutely top of the list is my buddy Ian Gartshore in the hot seat doing all the techie stuff tonight, just pulling it all together. Ian was our guiding light, and it was also his idea to do this concert. He dragged me in. And I am so glad he did. It was just great. My thanks also go to all of the musicians who have given of their time and talent and helped conquer the technology to bring us all their wonderful music tonight. Yay! All right, all of you. Give yourselves and each other a hand.
Yes. Yes. Yay, all of us.
And lastly, my thanks to each and every one of you who donated money to help preserve the last old growth forests on Vancouver Island, notably Fairy Creek, and for supporting this music. This is folk music. This is not the stuff you hear on the radio. This is real grassroots music, and I am committed to making it part of my life to get the word out to people. And thank you all for making this possible by donating your time and talent as well. Think about what you can do to slow climate change and to protect our fragile environment. We're part of an interdependent web, and the best gift that we can give is to pass along this planet to the next generation whole and viable. So think what you can do to make this happen. By the way, I am Sue Averill. I am part of the Nanaimo Folk Connection Coffee House. And I want to ask you right now to just sit back, relax, enjoy the video. And I think the musicians are probably going to sing along with it. You know, Luke knows the words too. And good night and stay safe, everyone. So here we go. The video, Bob Bosson, with thanks, Pass It Along.
Different one. Play the other one. This guitar came from a timber, from the body of a tree, through the workshop of a luthier. Now it's on loan to me, and it's good company after dinner, and it fits my hands just fine. But someday another singer with a pair of hands like mine will coax out songs much prettier, still hiding in its strings, and sing stronger, braver words than I could ever say. And folks are gonna love it, of this I'm almost sure, so I take good care of it, 'cause I'm borrowing it from her. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. Carry it for a moment, time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along.
and I still love my country. Sometimes it's hard to recognize it, but I count myself lucky to have been born inside it. And I'm grateful for the rights others struggle hard to win. You can be sure I'm gonna fight when they try and take them back again. Oh, and everywhere are teachers, though some fell along the way. The words they said still reach us, just like you're teaching me here today. And you may not speak it loud, but it's clear in what you do, and I hope to make you proud, 'cause I borrowed it from you. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for home, time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. Seems these days we're in a hurry to grab up all that's left to use, putting patents on discovery, making seeds that don't reproduce. If our vision is so narrow, seeing only bought and sold, we'll end up like the pharaohs, buried with their gold. We've all pushed this thing along, we've all been guided by our fear, but the river sings a song we've got to be quieter to hear. It's in every child's face, new and hopeful as a stem. Best be gentle with this place, 'cause we're borrowing it from them. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along, pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along.
Yay!
That there wasn't Bob Boston's video, but you can watch
No.
Bob Boston's video.
Yeah, well, that's what we were wondering.
We were a little confused.
What
Yeah, we thought we had it too, but unfortunately what happened was that the link has expired and we weren't able to get it back tonight.
Oh,
So
no.
which is
Okay.
it's too Bob did a very tasty version.
If you type in pass it along transatlantic session, I think you'll find it.
Okay, we can
Transatlantic
try
session?
that and see it.
Pass it
Yeah.
along transatlantic
Because
session.
there's
Yeah.
a whole host of musicians
He
on
did.
there, and quite
Yeah.
and it's gotten a
All
lot of
those-
mileage all over the
all these-
world on the internet too.
Yeah.
I was especially amazed to see Leon Rosselson appear.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. These are all folk musicians from when I was very active, and I was surprised at how some of them have aged. I haven't, you know.
Everyone else does.
Yeah, no, Holly hasn't either. Yeah.
I've known you anyway.
But that was just a wonderful, wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you all so much. You made it happen. You really did. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
And I want to give a little bit of feedback that there on the YouTube, there's been all kinds of wonderful comments being made about all of you. Just
Yes.
tremendous ones.
Yeah.
Including, well, Diane Charles has been the one that's been doing most of it. And she says so much thank you for all of this great stuff and just learned lots and was so enthusiastic and giving all kinds of icons and whatnot. So you missed that part, but it's on the YouTube channel. When you go there, you'll be able to watch her enthusiasm as she was cheering you on in the behind the scenes.
Well, thank you, Ian, for
Ian. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much crap at the beginning of all this.
Oh.
We were trying to get through. It's like
Such a job.
and I know, when stuff is so new, and certain things happen, you just don't know, what
It's
do you
not
do?
for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
No,
It's not for the faint of heart, exactly.
It was fun and it was crazy.
Those are the best kinds of memories.
Oh.
Nice to meet you all.
And it's lovely to meet you too. Just great. You guys have a good camping session and do a good festival tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great. Yeah, it was great.
All right, Scott and Pamela, cheers, you guys.
And Luke, thank you. Thank you so much. You're a new person for me. And yeah, absolutely, my dear. Absolutely. Thank you so much. You said some pretty amazing, deep things. That's just great. You guys, I'm not worried about the future if you guys are in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just great.
Thanks, everybody.